iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racing enthusiasts all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. The car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and racing teams. Our skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly racing series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 200,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams, race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12-Hour. Participate in solo races, championship seasons, and hosted in league events with AI Racing. With a rapidly expanding catalog of 70-plus cars and 85-plus tracks from real-world racing series, test your abilities with challenging computer-based competition. Additional partners include IMSA, the World of Outlaws, and Supercars, allowing members to participate in their very own Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, Sebring 12-Hour, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
Well, hello and welcome from Daytona, the absolute home of sports car racing in North America. And tonight, home of round 3 of the UKSR Multi-Class Championship. Hello and welcome along. I am Tim Cox. I'm going to be with you every step of the way. Well, not just tonight, but for the entirety of the season. Tonight is a little bit special. First of 2 rounds of the championship that are 90 minutes long as opposed to the usual 60 minutes. What are we going to see tonight? Well, if there's anything to go by the previous 2 rounds that we've had so far at Portimao and Nürburgring 1 week ago, I think we're in for another cracker. Round 1 was all about the GTPs and the battles going on there. Didn't see much from the GT3s, but they made up for it 1 week ago in Germany. And tonight we head to North America for the first time this season. This circuit that, of course, kick-starts the endurance season, not just within sim racing, but in real life at the Daytona 24. And I think tonight it's going to be more of the same wheel-to-wheel action. Of course, the slipstream when you get out onto the oval is always a classic. Provides great finishes separated by sometimes even thousandths of a second. But let's get stuck into the things, proceedings for this evening. And of course, as I mentioned, Portimao, Nürburgring, Daytona with us tonight. Already round 3 out of 8 so far this season. What a season we've still got left to go. I mean, some cracking tracks left in that one. As for, well, points and where we are currently at with that one, well, I'll tell you what, it's a tight affair, isn't it, at the top? Patrick Thornton-Thompson leading for Apex in GTPs. And Austin William Campbell not too far behind him, though. It is so tight. But a bit of a topsy-turvy season so far for Thompson. And definitely one to watch out for when it comes to fuel conservation. Joshua Wilson bringing up the rear in 3rd place. While we've got Ben Cullen, who's not had the best of times qualifying, but has put in solid results. And that's why he finds himself 4th in the championship. Thomas Cope for Olympus. I mean, that great battle that we've seen so far this season. Olympus versus Effect in GTP. Well, Effect, it was all about them in Portimao. More about Olympus last time out. Thomas had a great run from him in that part. Across now into LMP2 Pro. And well, Emil Koopmans, your winner last time out. Paul Busby, the winner, sadly not with us for the rest of this season. I hope you're getting better, mate, and all our thoughts and hopes are with you. Richard Simner, though, he's got a good chance, though. He's only 6 points behind, and he's a quality driver. He's still one to watch out for, and I think that Koopmans versus Simner battle is going to go right down to the final round. Across into LMP2 Pro-Am now. That's Nathan Willoughby, a great round for him last time out, and that's why he's 10 points clear at the top ahead of Jack Barker, the privateer. Although Jason Foreman not too far behind him. They're still both within the shout, and neither discredit Ethan Marone either. Alistair Pollock starting to get cut a little bit drift now, the DCW racing driver. Although James Acklam, a strong performance last time out for the privateer at Nürburgring. You've got to argue if you carry that on for the rest of the season, he could still be one to watch for that championship. Across into GT3 Pro now, and well, there you go. Ryan Davis top. Tiki Simsport have just been so dominant when it comes to the GT3s. Martin Tilling in 2nd place, and that's where it's really tight. A freeway tight on 64 points between Jacko Taylor, Casper Tunstead, and Nathan Alul. But you've got to look at it. Looking for that GT3, it's got to realistically, I think, come from one of the Tiki Simsport outfits. Across into Pro-Am, the 5th and final category that we have got within the championship. And Rudin Barings leads the way there. But again, of course, as you could imagine, of really tight margins. 2nd place in the championship. Well, of course, he's got to be. He's had 2 second places so far this season. Sean Cranley Swash for, and I did say last time, and I've forgotten how he said, you said Anstey. We're going with that. Sorry, Sean. I love you to bits, mate. But of course, the lone Ford Mustang in the field. And, you know, I love a good underdog. And when there's only one person driving one car, oh, I love that. I mean, Spiritual Home, American brand in North America. Can that V8 rumbling Mustang power its way home? Of course, the home of NASCAR as well. Ford, well, we all about know their prowess in that championship. It's a team's championship now. And, well, it's naturally, of course, Effect that lead the way. But the Effect Carbon outfit, only 1 point behind them. Of course, we're only 2 rounds in, so it's always going to be a little bit tight. 5 points behind them is DCW. We always get great support for them in the chat. Doubtly, I'm going to, well, we'll catch up with chat in a bit. I'm sure it's going to be no different this evening. Just having a look on the clock there. Got a little bit worried that we might be running across into qualifying. We're not. That's coming up for you very shortly at the top of the hour. So that's in about 6 minutes' time. There we've got DCW in 3rd. Another of the Effect teams is Club Sport in 4th, with Olympus in 5th. Well, let's have a look at the weather this evening. And, well, as you can imagine, it's great. It's a lovely sunny day here. When are we going to have rain? I want to utilize that radar graphic desperately. That's why I built all this screen, got the fancy little intro screen and all of that, making it look jazzy, thinking, yes, we're going to have some rain. It hasn't come yet. Will it come this season? I don't know. Will I get to use it? Well, we'll find out in a few weeks' time when we've rounded out the championship. We see absolute glorious day out there. Picture perfect for the drivers, and I'm sure many of them are definitely going to want it that way. It's not the kind of place with all the spray that's choked up to be battling out in the rain around here. But I'll tell you what, should we get a little bit trackside and stuck into things and get it more into the sway of emotions? And, well, let's bring the right graphic as well. There we go. As I mentioned, qualifying coming up for you very shortly, half an hour long. That is 10 minutes per class, kicking things off with the GTPs. Before we head into LMP2, who's going to claim pole in that one is going to be another effect. Dominating experience there. Before we head GT3s, bringing up the rear of qualifying. They will be on track at 20 past the hour. Before we go racing for 90 minutes, as mentioned earlier on. 90 minutes. Are you ready? I am. I could be in an absolute state and a mess come the end of it, viewers, but we'll find out come the end of the race, won't we? Let's have a little catch up with, let's see who's been chatting away. Oh, you've been there. You're there as always. Good to have you on board. Let's kick things off. Zyna Gaming. Wonder if AWC, that's Austin William Campbell, to do a non-stop for 90 minutes this week. I don't think. If Patrick Thompson can scrape home on just under an hour, I think he'll be struggling for that one. Good Revo, good luck to DCW, as mentioned, and also VRX. It should be VXR, that should be. UKSR, Chris Edisford, oi to you as well. Buzz, yeah, fuck cancer, man. Fuck cancer. It's you love this place. Not quite as much as you love Sebring, but still, I think it could have been another LMP2 whitewash if you were on board. I suppose you've got to give everyone else a chance, haven't you? I think it was looking, well, after your display in round one at Portimao, it was looking like it was going to go no other way, realistically, was it? Zyna Gaming and I. That was it. Thank you. Someone saved me. Gina Peters, go DCW. Let's have a little look into practice now and see what we've got going on there, and quite a few drivers out on track, as you can imagine. And it's this guy that's leading the way right now. I say, not quite leading the way. He's third. It's Josh Wilson. One to watch out for. That is for certain. As I've just spotted, I've missed one driver out. Shocking. I'll sort that one out very, very shortly. It's looking like another effect domination, though, in practice. 1, 2, and 3. Labette, Campbell, Wilson in GTP. And also the top two in LMP2, Pro and Am as well. Willoughby and Hugendorn, the top two drivers there. Cross now, we can pick up someone. There we go. In GT3. Aaron McGregor's just slapped a lap in to go top in practice for ProTech. Now, ProTech have struggled a little bit so far this season. Is that the sign of things changing for the ProTech outfits? And it's a Porsche as well. It's been all about accuracy so far this season. Will it be different tonight? We've also got the deployment as well of a beautiful drone cam to take us through the oval. Here it is. It's going to really showcase some of the action when we get that one up on board under racing conditions. Heading down into the bus stop. I know they remained it the Le Mans chicane, but it will always be the bus stop in my eyes, and I think pretty much everyone else's. The same way, the last corner at Monaco, even Monza will always be a parabolica. So yeah, Tiki Simsport again at the top of GT3. So it just goes to show it's another week, and it's the same teams. Well, it was going to be the same teams at the top, except for, there he is, in the Porsche, Alan McGregor. So Aaron McGregor is top there. can he take it away from Effect and Olympus in GTP? So it's going to be the new challenger. And even Patrick Thompson for Apex Racing Academy, he's been going it alone so far this season. Interesting. And also, yeah, the Porsches aren't right down the bottom. Another one that's running well as well in practice is 7th place, is Cy Anthony for UKSR. Anyway, that spells, well, they see the checker flag out and the change of screen. It's just shuffling across now into qualifying. And we get started, folks, as we are at the top of the hour. 10 minutes of GTP, followed by LMP2 at 10 past the hour. 20 past. It's GC3 heading out on track. Who's going to take it? Yes, I know. I've been bullied on Twitch. Of course, we are live on Twitch and YouTube, as always. I got so engrossed in sorting out everything else and thought I got everything sorted and just let myself down, didn't I? Never mind. Someone's got to disappoint himself. Of course, we've got the lone Cadillac as well in the field of Sam Sherwood of ProTech. I mean, it'd be lovely, wouldn't it, to have a Caddy win here at Daytona? Will we see it, though? That's the big question. I'd love to, but I just get the nasty feeling it's not going to happen. I don't know. Let me know if you think that I am wrong. And I'm sure you will do, undoubtedly. So we're not too far away from getting first flying laps out and onto the board. And it will be Joe Newman's going to be the first one across the line, I believe. No, he's just getting his time warmed up. But of course, we've seen multiple stints from GTP. Whereas LMP2, it's been very much a one and done. Let's catch up with chat. Medmo, I'm my own class. Max points for me. Oh, not for much longer. Don't you worry, Matt Edmondson. Nathan Willoughby, hate him. Good luck, Effect, boys. Will it be? Will it be? Oh, will it be? There you go. Well, we're ready. How long have we been live? 13 minutes? Not even that. Shit pun 1 already happened. Got to drive us all out on track. It's not lone quali in this series. Far away, just so we'll be trying to work out who's going to be the first across the line to catch up with them. They're all a little bit spread out right now. One interesting one for me, as I mentioned, is going to be this guy, Ben Cullen, to see how he does. Normally doesn't, well, either doesn't bother qualifying or not always the best. Definitely, he's so consistent though. That's the thing about Ben, and really good on fuel too. Could be a bit of a dark horse, you know, as he mentioned earlier on, third in the championship. And I think he will be one to watch out for tonight across this longer 90-minute distance. That's going to be first car across the line, I believe. It's going to be Thomas Cope of Olympus. I like. It's Josh Wilson. There you go, 132 to the time to beat in the Acura. Sherwood, Campbell, well, just under a tenth behind. And you see that new line that a lot of people are taking, coming in much later on the Apex. Seems to be the way to go, certainly in the GTPs at the moment. I was watching a post by Aaron Carroll, who was talking about it earlier in the week. And McGregor again. I tell you what, that Porsche ProTech looking really, really strong, isn't it? Because third off the book, and what is that? Hold on, quick maths here. No, yeah, just over. I mean, literally just over a tenth between himself and Wilson. It's definitely, that Porsche is looking like it could be one to beat. Also, we've got, talking of Porsches, this will be another one to keep half an eye on. This is the Olympus Altus. Sophia Redpath, a 33 car. And I've just realised that my cameras are changing. But that is not Alan McGregor. Let's just reload that. You're not going to have a moment, are you? Is this all going to break on me? Oh, it was all going so well, wasn't it? It was all going so well. So, yeah, Wilson top. Sam Sherwood goes top while I sort out the overlays. Having a bit of a moment. Oh, you've got to love this. So, yeah, Sherwood, well, was temporarily to the top before Labette goes top in qualifying for the moment, taking that preliminary pole position. I said about earlier on about, you know, that caddy, and could we see something from it? Well, it could well be the case that we are going to see something from it. And what a story that would be. What a turn up for the books. There we go. Got there in the end. All sorted. All sorted. Well, that's definitely going to be an abandonment of that lap from Labette after getting very squirrely and not committal out of the box there. Ryan Moll's top of the Porsche is in qualifying right now. We've got them all line astern. 5th, 6th, and 7th is Moll's, Redpath, and then McGregor. McGregor maybe a little bit disappointed with qualifying so far. But then we've got a bunch of Acuras for Cy Anthony bringing up the rear in the Porsche. 13th at the moment, looking a little bit off pace. Ben Cullen, pretty much the same time as Dan Sedgley of Olympus. Battle intensifying. Thompson moving up there into 3rd. Not long left in qualifying in GTP, and of course this longer, like 1 minute 30 lap time around here for these cars, gonna limit the amount of laps they're going to get in. And surprised we're not seeing a little bit more teamwork here. Try and work together and utilise the slipstream to pull along. See, didn't use some sort of horrific terminology, which I might live to regret, did I, there? Yeah, I'm surprised we're not seeing more work together to, you know, utilise that slipstream and maybe get some better lap times in, a bit of team play. You know, realistically, we've only got 4 teams here. Well, a couple of lone wolves with Thompson top again. Definitely looking like the man to watch. McGregor across the line as well. Starting to move deeper and deeper into qualifying for this class. It's everything having a bit of a shuffle around once more. Bit of a lag out as well. So yes, Thompson back out on track as well, going in again. This is probably going to be his last shot in the Acura for Apex Racing Academy with the 29 machine. Going to see him go faster again. It's got one of the Porsches in front of him. I think that's Moles of ProTech, isn't it? Just in front, if I do not know, it won't be. It'll be McGregor. That's who it will be on the ProTech cars. So yes, Thompson the one to watch out for. Oh, yeah, getting plenty of heat into those tyres. Through the banking there. Cope moves up to 5th late on. He's got a chance to maybe squeeze another one in. Fuel pending has Cope, although might not necessarily be happy with that 5th. Look to go again. Winding up out the bus stop though. Goes Thompson. Get the feeling this is going to be another absolute barnstorming lap from him. Oh, and he pulls in. Okay, right. Scratch that up completely. We're not going to see that one. I thought we were going to see a mighty lap from him. Labette, we're going to go faster with him. I think he was on his... No, he was on his out lap, so there we go. Another lap to start and get underway, and that is realistically probably going to be his last lap as well that he's going to complete around this circuit. Maybe one more as well from him. So we're going to try something else here to get the overlays working again. See, even they can't cope. And the anticipation. Get rid of that. Apologies, viewers. Nope, that's gonna... Oh, it's sent to try me, isn't it? This could be a fun old evening. So, yes, so just to keep you up to date, Thompson's still top, Labette second. Thompson sat in the pits though, so it's looking like he's not going to go again. Can Labette go one more faster? What can he find up his sleeve? Can he snatch away this pole position from Thompson? Right down onto the apron as well. Pushing it hard. There's an improvement in time, but not enough to take away that pole position from Thompson. As Wilson will be next across the line. What's it going to be from him? His previous best of 132 dead. He's, well, I was going to say heading into the pits, not quite. Utilising all the track and a bit more, but it's miles slower for him. 32.11. So track seeming like it's slowing up now. And these closing stages. We've got LMP2 about to head out on circuit now. So we head into the second third of qualifying. Let's have another go. Let's see if we can get this all working for you. Apologies about the technical issues experiencing right now. So Simner will be the one to watch. Definitely. Also, Koopman's another one. There we go. Are we working? We are. Oh, we only bloody are. Fantastic. Fantastic. Right, got there at the end, didn't we? Says just praying it's not going to break again. It's looking good though, looking good. So favourite in, well, your favourite's realistically got to be this guy for Effect Simulation Club Sport. It's got to be Danny Hugendorn after, well, or has it? Just got to go one way, one Dutchman or another, I think. It'd be himself or Koopmans. There he is. Both of Club Sport. So ultimately, what I'm saying is Effect Simulation Club Sport is going to take pole position. Or are they? Or are they? Nathan Willoughby out on track 2 in Pro-Am category as well. Another one to keep an eye out for as well. There he is. And he continue his winning ways, and the winning ways in effect in LMP2 as there's Koopmans to the top of Pro-Am at the moment. Mike Barker at the top of Pro-Am. Jack Barker, so James Acklam slaps one in there to take that provisional pole position in LMP2 Pro-Am at the moment. Great stuff from him. For Willoughby, well, there you go. I asked questions about him, and he goes to the top of Pro-Am. Great, and actually, he's out-qualified even the pro drivers in the sister team of Hugendorn and Koopmans. Koopmans on his first flying lap. He's left it late in qualifying here. Has he left it too late? Bam Bam at the moment making a top 4 lockout. in LMP2 overall, and, well, the top 3 in LMP2 Pro, but it's the Pro-Am of Willoughby that's taken the fight to a lot of them and out-qualified them all at this stage. We head into the second half. What's he got though, Koopmans? What's he got? He's got another roll of the dice here. Can he take it away? And I mean, surely not. Can we have the situation where we have a Pro-Am out-qualify all of the Pro category drivers? Willoughby just get lucky as well on that draft at the moment? There's Daniel Pay of All Dues in Cars. Or Collicott setting a time. He's sitting bottom at the moment. Connor Cavan yet to set a time either. Same with Adam Ty as well. His pay remains. Oh, okay, a tenth slower. Could this be the first lap and done? Track temperatures, it's almost like they're increasing out there a little bit. Track deteriorating as we saw it in GCP, where the best times were set towards the start of qualifying. Pay could have a little bit of a slipstream help here. Potentially, if he allows that. Well, not to say that, it's got the effect car behind him. I thought they were going to, well, Bales there goes. I think that was Koopmans and Pay around, so that's him done. Willoughby heading to the line. He's on an outlap start. His next flying lap, his next flying attempt. Currently sitting 200ths of a second faster than the top of Pro is the Pro-Am driver. What do you got, Willoughby? What have you got? Let's bring up some qualifying mode statistics down the bottom. You see how people are getting on in each of their sectors. No real improvements happening out there. I think this could be us done. I've got this nasty feeling about this, that we could be done here with qualifying, and, well, Willoughby could have humbled the lot of them. Will it be, though? Will it be? There we go. Sort that one out. Give you quite well. Look at it. I mean, it's improvements all round, and it is, in fact, a faster time. A 1:35 dead from Willoughby, extending that margin. Bamber moves to the top of Pro, but who's got it within them? Within Pro to try and beat him out entire. Cracking final sector from him. A fastest final sector of absolutely anyone. Collicott, he's on a good lap as well. 2 green sectors for the DCW yellow driver. Sitting towards the back of LMP2 at the moment. 7th in Pro-Am. And Watson 13th in LMP2 overall. Sorry, 12th even, apologies. Who could dawn on a good lap too? He's one who, can he snatch it away from Willoughby at the depth? Will stick, whereabouts is he on the track? So he's just heading out onto the banking for the final time is, no, first time even. As Collicott, improvement from him late on. He moves up a couple of places to 5th in class, but it's Hukendorn, he's on the cracking lap. But that 4th sector, no improvement. Has he done enough in the first 3 though? Personal best in sectors 1 and 2. Best of anyone in sector 3. The run to the line. What's it gonna be? Is he gonna beat that time? To wait for it to update. There we go, he's cut it and he's done it. He snatched it away from Willoughby. Hugendorn takes provisional pole in LMP2 with a 134.98, 2 hundredths of a second. Koopmans moves up to third, but he's still 100 slower than Willoughby. 3 hundredths of a second separating our top 3 drivers in LMP2. For Adam Tighe. Adam Tighe has just slapped it in there, didn't even spot it. Right at the death, his last attempt, and he goes top of absolutely everyone in LMP2 does the privateer. What a lap from him. As GT3 starting to head down to the end of pit road now, and there's not really anyone out there who's improving. And it looks like Adam Tighe's going to take away that effect domination. They're looking to lock up the front 2 rows in LMP2. Well, they're not going to do it because Adam Tighe's done it. What a lap from him. GT3 about to take to the track very, very shortly there. They are heading out onto track. It's going to take that one. Hugendorn, is he... That's no real improvement from him. Jack Barker's on a... Well, what could be an okay lap. So we're going to see them peel off. Yeah, he peels off. Jack Barker. Does he peel off? No, he runs to the line. Right, he feels this is good enough to improve, but by how much? It's just over a 10.5 between Craven in front of him, but he goes faster, but only in time and not in position. That's qualifying done for him. Right. GT3. And unfortunately, Matt Edmondson will not be running Class 3 for effect in the Corvettes. GT3 Pro-Am. Sorry. So it's this point of view of you that have been pointing that out, rightly so. Make one mistake and everyone jumps on it. But you forget one thing, that's what it was. So, who's going to take the crown? In LMP2. So, no, in GT3 even. I still can't go over LMP2. Just how close that was between the lot of them. Frightening stuff. But now in terms of GT3, who's going to take this one? And, well, good news. Sean Cranley-Swash, the lone Ford in the field, or he was. So Joe Pinder rocks up, and look there, running line of storm that's the 2 Mustangs. Brings to that V8 American muscle sound here to Daytona. Now, will the Connexus driver be helped out here from the slipstream ahead of him? I think this could be an interesting one. I think with a lot more drivers as well out on track in GT3, I think we could see a real shuffle around here in terms of the times. I was just trying to spot who's going to be first across the line. I think it could be one of the Tiki Simsport drivers, Martin Tilling in the Corvette. Of course, downside to being in GT3, that hard and fast shut at the end of qualifying seems to reach the half-hour mark. You've got a little bit of overtime in the first 2 classes to try and squeeze a lap in. There we go. Lap times on the board. Ryan Davis, Tiki Simsport, Martin Tilling second. Porsche Corvette, Porsche. Kevin Daniel for DDK into third. Apologies. That's Cranley-Swash topping that Pro-Am category. His name's so long, it's Cranley squashed into the timing tower. Yep. Come for the racing, you stay for the awful puns, don't you? You do, honestly. Cameron Smith as well, the privateer. So, I mean, in Pro-Am, the top 4 spots occupied by different manufacturers. Ford, Porsche, Ferrari, Corvette. James Conley on a good lap too. Where is he? Let's try and pick him up. He's going to come across the line on his first flying run in the Ferrari for UKSR. Looking strong. Let's going to put him on the leaderboard. Let's find out together. There we go. Goes 5th in class, 37th overall. That's 5th in Pro-Am. There's also some good times coming in from other people. One of the 2 Audis, Joel Dutton. Oh, time deleted in the first sector, though. That's not going to work out. Sean Cranley Swash improving once more. Greens are plenty for him. Can he go faster? Currently leading hit Pro-Am by 0.04 of a second. A 146.68 for that 117 Mustang. Crosses the line. There you go, and he moves up a place overall. A great lap from him with 46.31. Although Joe Pinder, I tell you what, these 2 Mustangs are absolutely flying in Pro-Am right now. He goes only 100th of a second slower than his counterparts. And Ford flying high here at Daytona. A lap times, well, as I say that, Darren Sharples for old dudes in cars in the Porsche gets a cracking one in. It's a real hive of activity right now down in GT3. Conley, what's he doing? Nothing too much improving there for the 46 Ferrari. Matt Edmondson on an improving one so far. Joel Dutton, Brockner, Edmondson, and Bearings not setting times. And their time's deleted. Which is not what you want. Especially when there's less than 4 minutes left on the clock. In fact, fast approaching 3.5 minutes. This is going to be a time on the board for Edmondson. Let's stick with him because it's opening round of the championship. There you go. That's good enough for 8th in class. And that's going to put him 15th in GT3 as well. Dutton looking like this is going to be a solid lap for the Coyote Racing Audi. 13, unlucky for some. Let's hope this is going to be a time on the board. At least get something represented on there. Yes, it's time on there, but it's only good enough to go blasting class, and he's off the pace. He's trying to get that banker lap in before he builds and goes again. Although Tunstead on a good one right now, and he's got a bit of help from in front of him from the 10. There's Cam Smith. And there you go. It really, really helped because it slingshots him up to 5th. As Alan Lever, I tell you what, these Pro-Ams in both LMP2 and GT3 are really taking their fights to the pros. He gets it onto what will be the 3rd row in GT3, and he's off out again. He's not had enough. He wants to try and cram in another lap, or at least give someone else a bit of a tow. Maybe Conley and Murray and the 2 Ferraris of UKSR who are well, right towards the back of the field. Try and help slingshot them further up. That's Tunstead, I do believe, right behind him. And, well, it's getting very, very busy on pit exit right now into the International Horseshoe. Calm down, boys. He's got one more lap in them. Well, that's someone who definitely doesn't. Martin Tilling, and he won't get out again either. So that's qualifying going to be done for him. Also, McGurrick for DCW. He's looking like he's done with qualifying. Same with Connolly, Allen, Alul as well. Someone we haven't mentioned so far. He's occupying 3rd place in class. Joel Dusson on a really improving lap, and he needs it. Down the back, and well, it's an improvement in terms of time, but still looking a little bit off the pace, but not to worry really, you know, keeping the fight. We've seen big incidents here at Daytona numerous times over the years. There's Bearings. Bearings goes third. I tell you what, look at that yet again. Pro-Am taking the fight to Pro. Can't quite get himself onto the front row. Ryan Davis looking like he's on a, well, not so good lap. Trying to see who's behind him. He's trying to give a bit of a toe to. No one's going to help. And well, who's close to the line? Dave Robson going to be another driver who will get a time in, but it's going to be no improvement from him. And where everyone else is on the circuit with 15 seconds left, they're not going to make it. Looking like we are done here in GT3. I can't see anyone. No one even near close enough. So there you go. Checker flag out. We're on the half-hour mark. Wait for everyone to disappear. Was Dan being kind and just let this overrun? Maybe our organiser is allowed to do so. These two Mustangs, though, they occupy the top 2 spots in qualifying early on. They're now going to start 6th and 7th in GT3 Pro-Am. Look like the rise of Ford here at Daytona, but that doesn't look like it's going to be. Doesn't look like it's going to be for them. So we're not far away now from end of qualifying. We can head across into the races mentioned in the build-up. 90 minutes of racing. Comes next to and who's going to take it? Will it be Tiki Sinsport? Continue on their domination. At the front of GT3. Can affect... Tell you what, we're going to change this quick because I meant to change last time. Kevin, well, oh, that's why. So he was in the system correctly, just not quite correctly. There we go. Everyone will be happy now. So, nearly at the end now. Just wait for it to, the session to transition over. It's had 90 minutes of racing coming up for you. And who will take it? Who is going to take this round set of victories? Can Thompson pull out another masterclass in terms of fuel saving at the front of GTP? So what we're going to see, one of the, well, LMP2, is it going to be all about effect again? Or is Anti, first time he's been on pole this season, is he going to be able to take the fight to the rest of the grid? Let's take a roll through how they're going to form up for you today. And well, yeah, we've got classes. There we go. That's a bit better. Patrick Thompson on pole. Labette joins him on the front row. So, well, it was going to be an all-effect front row if it hadn't been for Thompson's late on heroics. And Sam Shearworth for ProTech in the caddy. Well, season's best qualifying for him to join Wilson on row 2. Row 3, all ProTech row in the form of McGregor and Moles. And it's an all Olympus row 4 with Thomas Cope and Sophia Redpath. Joe Newman continues on that strong ProTech surge with Dan Sedgley rounding out your top 10. Cullen and Austin William Campbell make up an all-effect row 6. A disappointing qualifying from those guys with Cy Anthony completing the grid. LMP2 Pro, well... this is where it gets slightly jumbled up here a little bit. Because Adam Tai on pole, Danny Hugendorn will be joining on the front row. But if we change it to overall now, this is where it gets slightly adjourned because it's going to be a little bit topsy-turvy. It was Nathan Willoughby, in fact, who joins Hugendorn on the front row. Slightly for Pro-Am. Koopmans and Bamber on row 2. Well, it's slightly askew, but Simner maybe a bit disappointing with that. He starts next to James Acklam. Connor Craven and Jack Barker in, well, 2 cars ending in 3, and they make up row 4 of LMP2. Collicott and Pollock are together for DCW. It's 24th overall. Well, Jason Foreman and Daniel Pay complete the LMP2 grid. Ryan Davies and Kevin Daniels. There you go. Everyone happy? Hopefully so. Make up the front row in GT3. It's an old Porsche front row. And so's row 2, in fact, with Ruben Bearings and Nathan Allul. Casper Brockner and Martin Tilley on row 3. Well, row 4 is Martin Crews and Darren Sharples. Alan Lever's got Casper Tunstead for company. So many of the Pro-Ams riding high. Robson and McGurrick. Then we've got Edmondson on his debut next to Sean Cranley Swash. Nearly tripped himself up there. Joe Pinder, the two Fords close together but not on the same row. Cam Smith is next to Pinder. They've got Windsor and Conley, Allen and Hartley, Murray and Joel Dutton to round out your 48 car grid. Here we go, folks. Here we go. Who is going to take it? It's Porsche 911 safety car controls the pace. It'll be pulling in any moment now. As let's get ready to go racing from Daytona. Round 3 of the season as we are green and we are racing off down towards turn 1. What's going to happen in GTP? Who's going to take it? As they scream down their free wide in the background. Will they all make it through? Shuffle, no, there's contact. Olympus, well, all 3 teams involved and further coming together as well. LMP2 away. Ty still in control and is a privateer. Clings hold of that one as LMP2 make their way through in a much orderly fashion. Meanwhile, GT3 up and running and away. Rip Path involved in further accidents. Sharples, all this further. Well, it's all ended up in a right royal mess there at the back of GT3. There's numerous drivers caught out one and that one. Ruben Berries did not take the grid. Neither Casper Brockner already into the pits, but halfway round the lap, Thompson leads for Apex Racing Academy. Labette still in second. Gaps are plenty, I tell you what, it's tight and it's looking gnarly. There's a lot of work to do. Many alliances have been broken up in GTP after early on incident. Rippath has gone from the equation. That was Cope's hope of having someone to work with. Now he's the meat in a Protect sandwich. Well, I say that Cullen going for it, and that's a slowdown. That's a slowdown for Newman, surely. Going high off the banking, slots back in, zips into line between Anthony and Sedgley. Well, Sedgley's surely going to motor on past right now, but let's have a look back into LMP2. And it's Adam Ty still leading the way there, and he's commanding this one. Where has this Adam Ty been? As that's Ryan Moles, you might have just caught off camera there, heading down into pit row. As they scream across the line. An effective no answer for the privateer in this early on stage. Brockner is he into the... Well, he's out and running and showing a bit weirdly in terms, he's not 6th overall, I can assure you of that one. This is our leader in GT3, it's Ryan Davis even. Allure second. Nip and tuck down in the midfield, and in terms of that, well, the battle, how it's all shook out. Well, I said about the 4th not having the best of the qualifying, 7th in class for them, and 8th respectively. Now to 1st and 3rd podium positions in GT3 Pro-Am. What an opening lap here. As that is a lot of damage to the front end of that Corvette, and I'm surprised Tilling has not taken that TT Simsport Corvette into the pits, and that's Moles just carving his way through the field there on a bit of a recovery drive, flashing his lights. Well, that's a maybe, but you've got yourself there through no fault of these GT3s. As Thompson setting a new fastest lap. Cullen, well, under a lot of pressure, although he has got Cope within his sights. Would love to have carried off up the road with his fellow Effect teammates Wilson and Labette, who occupy the other two podium positions in Pro GTP even. Which is not to be. Joe, we've had, well, let's, now things have maybe calmed down. We'll see if we can bring you some of the incidents that happened. So, what happened to Ridpath at the start? Oh, well, it already happened there by the looks of things. Oh, maybe broken suspension that sent her around. As for GT3, well, this is what happened. Down towards turn 1. Casper Brockner, the driver, losing out. And oh, well, so many. Oh, when he caught the tyre barrier on the inside there. And that's what turned him around and was the, well, the start effect that caught up so many drivers. Sharples, Robson, Edmondson, Windsor, Murray and Hartley all involved in that one. As that is Cullen past Cope, who's, I'm guessing, had a slowdown coming out of the bus stop. And he's going to lose another place. That's Joe Newman through. Well, look, a good showing from well, the non-Acuras, let's put it that way, in GTP. They've all fallen by the wayside. But Gregor, the best one, he's in 4th. He's at 1 place in class. As for LMP2, well, Ty, he's checked out already by a second compared to the rest of the field. But it's the Pro-Am driver of Willoughby still holding on to 2nd overall in LMP2 at the moment. Hugendorn behind him, and then Bamber, a trio of Effect cars. Simner involved in this group. Emil Koopmans after, well, starting 3rd, down to 5th in class and bottom of LMP2 Pro with only the 5 cars in that class. Let's just have a little check in this. Things are tightening up a little bit once more in GT3. This in Pro, side by side from the Porsches, Daniels and Alul. DDK and the Privateer stuck around the outside. And I'm amazed that Tilling in that TT Sim Sport 04 Corvette is, well, staying in this fight. It's got no front end whatsoever. It is gone. It is completely and utterly gone. But if he falls off that draft train, or if he gets to the front of it, it is going to be like a brick wall hitting him in the face. Let's stick with these guys to the front of this little group right now. Let's head out onto the banking with the drone cam here. We're not going to be too far away. No, we're not from our first pass through in the traffic from our lead cars. You see in the track map in the top right-hand side, just how close they're starting to approach one another. Things compacting down into the bus stop. It's remaining as things are. Will it change, though, out onto the banking? It looks like a little getting a bit of a push there from Tunstead. The two Porsches working together here. But Alul just seems to be lacking that straight line speed. Meanwhile, Thompson, he's, well, not too far back, actually, from that group. He's opened up already nearly a 2-second lead. Clearly not fuel saving today. I mean, he could never make the full 90 on a full tank. But are we going to see the true pace of this young Danish driver? It's an all-Scandinavian affair, though, for the top 2 places. Wilson is behind them. Bringing along Labette and McGregor for the ride. Here we go. Let's ride on board through the traffic with Thompson. Let's see how he handles things. Oh, squeezed by the Mustang on the entry in towards the International Horseshoe. Thinks twice about it. Gets on the power. Using all that electrical deployment to slingshot him out of the corner here. Sailing on by. And he's extending that gap ever so slightly. You can see in the background there, Wilson caught up in a bit of traffic behind that Tiki Simsport Ferrari. And Wilson with no one to draft off, whereas Thompson's, I think, got a little bit of a hand from some traffic there. Yes, he has. He's going to pull out that gap even further. On board with Wilson, he's meeting the traffic in all the wrong places. He'll meet one of them into the bus stop. Will he send it? He's going to try it, but he backs out of it. That's Edmondson. And the effect Ferrari has to stir on exit. Slingshots it right round the outside. He'll get back in to try and give Edmondson a bit of help with towing him along. Undoubtedly, Lebet will do too as well. To help that Ferrari's case, Newman looking like he's on the move against Ben Cullen. We're going to send it round the outside. He's thinking about it. A bit of a push. Bit of a bump as we head through the tri-oval. Oh, you could have used the Porsche for the pick, but he can't get alongside close enough. And Cullen holds on, but we're going to go right round the outside. But Cullen sees it through. Defense is out. He'll use some of that traffic once again as these two go to battle. But it's brought Sedgley and that Olympus Acura into this fight. And this is where it gets tough. What is that? Is that actually... I'm trying to work this one. Yes, it is. That is Sedgley. And also, Cope involved too. And it's all getting a little bit messy here. Newman trying to pick his way through. Cullen is just giving himself a bit of breathing space. 8/10 of the second. Through the banking they go. But gap is closing to Cullen though. It is closing. It's coming down. They could be in a bit of trouble here. Having to go 3 wide out on the tri-oval. Coming back down, that's Cranley Swash involved in a battle with Cam Smith. The Porsche tried to go around the outside of the Mustang. He couldn't get it done. But he's going to look to come down low in the turn 1. This is for your lead change in GT3 Pro-Am. And Smith has got it done against Cranley Swash. 11 minutes complete out of the 90. Rid Paffett goes from bad to worse. She's had another incident after trying to come back through the field. Let's take a little look exactly how that one unfolded for her. Oh, and just locked at the brakes. Well, that was Alan Lever, I think, there in the Lamborghini UKSR car. And Smith runs wide in the Porsche. Cranley Swash unable to do anything about it there, and he might be a chance missed a little bit from him. Let's move look at some of the other battles. Talking of GT3, up into GT3 Pro now. And wow, Tilling's still soldiering on, but right now we're seeing that's a change around there. Yes, that's Tunstead past the Lull. That's been on for a little bit of a while. So Bearings did not make the start. Ridpath could looking like our first retirement of this evening. Excuse me. In fact, that's Carl McGurrick of DCW. He's just starting to come up onto the back. And actually, this could be Nathan O'Lough losing 2 places in what, half a lap if the Corvette can get on by, but it can't. The Brit having to settle for 16 class. But now, he has closed this gap right up and has a good look here down into turn 3, and he gets it done, does he? Yeah, he's going to shut the door and head on by. Let's take a look at what happens to Alistair Murray meanwhile. Been involved in an incident, and that's in front of a bit of traffic. Did he get... Oh, there's a bit of assistance from the DCW LMP2 there. Not sure if that was Pollock or Collicott, sorry. As meanwhile, is that looking to try and recover the place? It's going to push and squeeze McGurk out wide, and it's worked, and that is a lull. Well, France back ahead of England for now. All that's meant is McGurk's got the slipstream all the way through the tri-oval up into LMP2. Things have closed up here. Ty, well, he's extending his lead out only by 3 tenths, but it's what's happening behind him that's crucial. It's Willoughby, then Simner, Bamber and Koopmans. Only, well, the gap that separates Willoughby from Ty is nearly the same gap that separates, well, Willoughby and the 3 drivers behind him as well. This is, oh, it's had a bit of contact there. It's the Fett Club Sport. Emil Koopmans in the 911 car. It's getting a little bit sideways there through the traffic. In fact, it might even have been Hugendorn. Willoughby's taking a big old chunk out of Ty. See that gap? That's shrunk by nearly half a second in the space of the bus stop. And again, more traffic, and it's that battle at the head of GT3 Pro-Am, and Ty has to send it all the way around the outside, and a bit more, as Cam Smith going to battle with Cranley Swatch once more. Those two not letting up whatsoever, not leaving it alone. They're having an absolute marvellous ding-dong there. But what it has meant is now Willoughby and Simner are onto the back of Ty. And whereas Willoughby is from, well, the category below, Simner is part of LMP2 Pro, and that's going to really weigh on Ty's mind, surely. The fact he is now within striking distance. Actually, Bamber dropped off the back of this little group. Forget it about that one. So we head into the bus stop. Coming around a bit of the traffic here. LMP2 still making their way through. GT3, of course, a little bit spaced out early on from that big incident that we saw. So it's really playing a part of this. So, ooh. Austin William Campbell has retired his car. Let's find out exactly what's happened to him. Bringing the strong qualifying in the 555. Lost the rear. Oh, and clouts the rear right into the tyre barrier. Broken suspension. And he calls it a day. Rear wing gone too. Well, it's not quite looking to be Effect's way in the prototype categories, as it's been pretty much. I know they didn't have it was more about Olympus, certainly in LMP2, so GTP last week, but they've dominated LMP2 and they've still run well in GTP. Today, it's just not looking that way. It is not looking that way at all. Gap as well is starting to shrink. Yes, it is. Yeah, oh, well, a little bit deceptive on my timing sheets because I didn't spot the ProTech Porsche from GTP. Gone on the day when it's the old LMP1 Porsche and Audi where this hybrid deployment would be a touch of the button. You instantly say goodbye to the LMP2s. You've got to work a lot harder for it in the corners compared to what you used to. And that's why it's taking Moles a bit of a time to recover. and to make his way back through this LMP2 field. And also, you know, you've got to consider he doesn't want to disrupt these battles that are going on track. It's currently the battle for the lead. Your top three being shown: Tice, Willoughby, and Simner. Simler is looking really racy. It looks like he's reaching that 20-minute marker, and he's starting to put the hammer down here and to apply the pressure, just bit by bit, turning up the dial against Willoughby, asking questions. What's his mental resolve like? Simner wants a shot at Ty himself. You can see much more aggressive early turn-in from Simner, whereas Willoughby preferring a bit more of a late entry there into the bus stop. Does Simner play this one tactically? Does he just bide his time in the slipstream behind Willoughby? Meanwhile, further down the field, it's Olympus versus Effect. So much we've seen it so far this season numerous times, and we're seeing it here again on, well, minute 20, lap 13 into turn 1. This time it's Craven versus Hugendorn. Craven currently running third in LMP2 Pro-Am. It's Hugendorn last of the pro runners. Incidentally, it's Acklam who's running second in Pro-Am at the moment. It seemed just in the foreground shot there, the privateer. A lot of people, it's becoming a bit more like a game of poker, this. Maybe other than incidentally, it's a two-way fight for the top of GT3 Pro. It's now become a Pro-Am has now become a three-way fight. And a free manufacturer fight, because the Ferrari of Tiki Simsport, the 99 piloted by Dave Robson, has come along to the party, wants to be part of it. See Matt Emerson just in the background there, of course, winner in the GT3 League in the AM category. Ran away with it realistically. Won basically at every round that, well, I turned up to commentate on. Not going to be his lucky charm tonight. Also, lovely little stat for you here. The top 5 in GT3 Pro-Am, all different manufacturers. Porsche, Ford, Ferrari, Corvette, and Lamborghini in that ascending order. Smith, Cranley, Swash, Robson, Edmondson, and Alan Lever. That top 5 at the moment. Also, 5 different teams nearly as well. And yet again, here we go. The muscle of that V8 from that Ford going right round the outside, the long way round on the tri-oval, but has to back out of it. But hold on. There's one of the Effect GTPs. Not too sure who that one is. Trying to spot, is that Josh Wilson? Yes, it is. He sails on by. No punting off back markers this time for the Swede. There's going to be more to come. Lebet not too far behind. There he is, getting right into this freeway battle. And this could give Smith just that bit of breathing room he wants, that he so desperately craves in that 10 Porsche. They're all going to get split up. But also, the GTP is getting split up too. McGregor in the ProTech Porsche, the next one to head through. Cranley Swash, well, not sure if he ran wide deliberately there or if it was a little bit exaggerated just to allow the GTP on through. Breaks up this group a little bit. Meanwhile, further down in Pro-Am, it's UKSR Ferrari trying to take on the Audi of DCW. Here's Allen in the 84. And the bus stop they go. Going to see a bit of a change. The Ferrari great in the straight line. Bloody great in the corners. What's that Ferrari got? Getting the 46 haul its way by. It's closing the gap up 2 tenths. Well, 2.5 tenths. Apologies, we are down 2, but stagnating. I don't think he's catching him quick enough to try and make a bit of a difference, or is he late on the brakes? The big send from Connolly, and he gets the move done. It was a little bit aggressive, and maybe taking a little bit of surprise there was the DCW Audi of Allen, but he gets it done. The last of the late breakers, James Connolly there in the 46 Ferrari for UKSR. Gave some of that hooked and slid on by. This is the Foreman with Hugendorn. It's Hugendorn. It just hasn't worked out for him this race, and well, that bad start is just what's troubled him, and he's got stuck around here and still in 5th place. He's behind the 4th place Pro-Am car. That's Jason Foreman, the privateer in that 44 machine. I do have to wonder for some of these drivers how much they're thinking about pit strategies right now. Okay, this hasn't worked out early on for me. Certainly like this, getting caught out up behind. Oh, the Porsche, and it's going to end up in tears. Maybe, or maybe not. McGregor and that Porsche GTP could not capitalise getting past. I think, is that the Tiki Simsport Porsche? Yes, it is, of Ryan Davis. That they just head on by. But Labette made a right old royal hash of that one for effect. He's in the 666, and maybe the devil hanging on his shoulders at the moment, weighing him down in that situation as McGregor unable to capitalise, and that could be a big moment for McGregor. A missed opportunity for him. "26 minutes complete." Well, we'd nearly be halfway. We're only nearly a third of the way through the race this time. Of course, 90 minutes tonight. Although we've got a lot of close cars. Really, a lot of battling going on right now. Is that a slowdown? I think it might be a little bit. It's taking a very, very high line there. It's McGregor dropping back from Labette, who's cleared off into the distance as well. That's a change for a position through the tri-oval, and that is Cullen past Cope, and oh, did he catch him? Well, that ended in absolute tears, and Rob Windsor caught up in it too as well. I saw in the background. Let's take a look at exactly how that one came to ruse. Well, Cope going slow, Thompson just slid on by. But then does he... Well, he just rear ends him. It's maybe where he was slow through the tri-oval after clearly picking up another slowdown. I mean, Rob Windsor's had an incident in the bus stop. Does he keep it out the wall? Does he? Does he? Does he? Yes, he does. But that is a horrific place to get stuck, pointing the wrong way, facing the wall on the exit of one of the fastest corners on the track. And well, I'm sure there'll be words about that one afterwards, as the Effect versus Olympus fight continues. I think it's just where Cope got was obviously slow off the corner. We're going to look at this from another angle. Bear with me. So Cope, yeah. Look, he's slowing because there goes past Sedgley. Keep an eye on your mirrors. That black speck that's becoming larger and larger, that's culling for effect that's going to sail on past us as well. I think where he's going slower, he just completely misgauged it. Went for the lunge in. My Cullen was on the inside. Bit of misjudgment there. Cope now. Well, it's got Newman and Sherwood have closed right up. That caddy went well in practice, in qualifying, but at the race spec, Sherwood just not been able to. You know, Protec ran well as well. Let's have a qualifying as a whole, but just haven't been able to really make hay where the sun shines here at Daytona. So that's a change around. Oh, that's incredibly close. That is incredibly close as Willoughby, well, holding on to this by dear life. He's lost the place to Simner as well off camera. Koopmans, an Acklam split. Well, the Mustang there, not knowing, do I go left, do I go right? And on the grass, Koopman squeezes on by. Meanwhile, McGregor's got past Labette. It was all quiet in the prototypes, and all of a sudden it's come to life. Incidentally, Willoughby still leading Pro-Am, but losing places in class overall, having qualified second in class. He's down to third in LMP2 overall. Maybe he's not too bothered by that one, though, as there he is. Because behind him, well, his fellow Effect Simulations Carbon driver is Bamba, and then it's Effect Simulations Club Sports, Emil Koopmans. So, all part of the same Effect Simulations club. And that is too many times of saying Effect Simulations in space of a few seconds. The effect it's having on me. There we go. And, ooh, pit times. As these are the first drivers actually into the pits, actually alive. Jack Barker popped in last a couple of laps ago, but in a line astern, Hugendorn pops in as well. Was that one of the Audis I saw heading down pit road? No, it was Martin Tilling in the Corvette finally getting that front end repaired, having been missing it for much of the race. I'm amazed he's gone this far in, trying to make it on fuel clearly to get it inside that pit window that he wanted to. Clearly feels he can make the rest of the race on this, and we are just about inside that window for GT3. They can run around about the hour mark. Racing the Void saying over in Twitch chat, I feel like this is well early for pitting. It does feel a little bit like this. I mean, but we have got an hour to go, and realistically, under normal conditions, of course, the GTPs and LMP2s are restricted to 70%. No, hold on, bear with me, viewers. Am I getting this the wrong way round? Hold on, I will find out the correct answer for you. No, it's GT3, apologies. It's limited on fuel to 70%. There we go. Checking the rule book. But the wrong way round. Acklam in from the lead of LMP2 Pro-Am. Craven now promoted to that one as they all shuffle around and get going. As this is getting a little bit spicy down in GT3 Pro-Am. Edmondson, Connolly, and Allen all pretty much line astern here when the Olympus LMP2's heading on through. I think that's Connor Craven there in the 1, 2, 3 car. It is indeed. It's heading on by. past those guys. That's Foreman down pit road as well. Well, just heading out, in fact, for him. Is he going to get the jump on Acklam? No, Acklam up and running. So, Ty still leading in LMP2 right now. Simner has got it down to a second and a half. He's really got the bit between his teeth in this second stage. Well, this second third of the race. Technically, that would be stage as well. They're in a... This can be good and it can be bad. They're in part of the circuit now where there is no traffic. And this is where it comes down to the driver. Who's faster? You've got no one to slipstream off. No one else to rely on. Having said that, just picking up their one of the Porsches. Not too sure who that one is. As Edmondson into the pits from that battle with Allen and Connolly. Well, Lebet has got McGregor hot on his heels. And with this, oh, this could be dangerous with this traffic here. Let's ride on board with the Porsche. McGregor approach, second, he sends it through the middle. Can he get the move done in spectacular style? They split the Ferrari. He's round the outside, but well held on. Damien Lebet and manages to somehow retain that third place in GCP, despite the epic efforts from McGregor there, who was practically the postman. The amount he sent it. And he nearly delivered. And that bit of traffic has allowed two effect cars to creep up onto the back of them. Cope and Sedgley now within striking distance, but here we go, folks. McGregor to the outside once again. Lebet down low. And that's the move done. He's finally ahead. But will he be still ahead into turn one? Let's find out. They're coming up on a bit of traffic. Here we go past the GT3s. GTP's taken to the high line here. Making their way by. Lebet lit down low behind the Mustang there of Cranley Swash. To try and just get every little bit of draft, every little gram of it. To try and suck him along. But in fact, it's going to leave Sedgley. He's come onto the attack here. Round the outside into turn one. Can he get it done? Can he make the big send? And the answer is, oh, he loses the rear. And that's going to allow Cope just to come on by, who nearly loses himself, trying to avoid his teammate. No, in fact, it is Sedgley who does so. Oh, wow. Big drama at the front end of GTP right now. And we've got a four-way fight over... Well, scratch that, actually, because Joe Newman's now up onto the back of this, too. He's brought along his car for the ride. A five-way fight over one place on the podium. The last place on the podium, it's third place. Wilson has really, really headed off into the distance. He's got an 8-second lead over this group. Well, Dane's flying high here in the top of GTP. What a send that would have been. They all space out. Well, who's got this one then? I think this one could... Well, this could come down to strategy, or it's going to come down to the wire between this little lot. And this is your closest battle out on track at the moment. Having said that, actually, well, he was about just coming off the back of Cranley Swash, heads into the bits, who incidentally heads up into second in GT3 overall. Ryan Davis still leading the way. He is 31 seconds clear for that Tiki Simsport Porsche. for the rest of the field, but those two yet to stop. Neither is Cy Hartley, another Tiki Sim Sport driver, this time in the Ferrari, the 23. And, well, I was about to say Rob Winston in the Corvette, but he just heads down pit road now. So really and truly, it is fully open here, the pit window in GT3. Amazed, though, that, well, I mean, the fuel restrictions playing a part of it, that's for sure. But GTP is still not pitted. All goes calm. Or does it? Does it for a bit as Labette, having ran so much of this race in, well, ran a while in second, then in third. I mean, started in second. Now down to fourth. Cope looking to demote him down to fifth as well as he comes on to the attack as we head through the tri-oval. See the electrical regeneration there. That is a change for positions there. Isn't it? Yeah, it's going to be as Kevin Daniels, Simon Hartley there, and Daniels retains that one. As Davis and Cranley Swash, your top two in the top of each of the GT3 categories, and top two in GT3 overall, head to pit road. They've had the best mileage out of anyone, and it's about Cy Hartley undoubtedly will be joining them. The only car yet to stop. So, who's going to come out on top on that one? Leader in Alan P2. Well, in and back out again for Adam Ty, retaining that one. Richard Simner, 2.8 seconds behind, so bit of a jump there for him. Meanwhile, is that in and out again? Cranley Swash is still going, finding something within him that no one else can find in terms of mileage in that Mustang. Ironically, probably the largest displacement car in GT3, or one of, but yet going longer than anyone else. That's Cope. Cope is past Labette. Now Labette's got Sedgley hot on his tail. Three not leaving each other alone in GTP. Gregor into the pits, the first one to pit. Oh, no, it's all gone wrong for Cranley Swash. On board with Martin Tilley. Oh, so he was off there already. That says he headed on by. Right, let's see if we can get a different view for this one of exactly what happened to him. Oh, he's pulled off. Oh no, is he miscalculated his fuel? Was it technically? Oh no. Oh, it's all gone wrong. And the Ford from flying high now to... That's surely going to be the back of the field. Wow. All change here potentially again as Labette this time on the attack versus Cope. Looks to go around the outside. But I tell you what, the Acura of effect that's piloted by Labette just seems to lack that bit of straight line speed compared to the Olympus Acura. Oh, it's lever in the UKSR Lamborghini. That running 7th, I believe. Yeah, 7th in GT3. 2nd in Pro-Am. Robson now leads that one. Oh, well. We wondered if we had drama. Well, we're definitely getting it here in absolute abundance. So let's have a bit of a shakedown after the round of pit stops. I can tell you that, well, in LMP2, it's worked out an absolute treat for effect. Koopmans, from the back, is now up into the lead. It's got Saibamba right behind him. They've leapfrogged both Willoughby and Ty and Simner as well. That's some great strategy. They came in early. They came in on lap 19 as opposed to lap 24 for Ty and Simner. In doing so, they've leapfrogged everyone. In fact, they were actually, I think they might have taken only right-sided tyres because they had a 10-second faster pit stop than their counterparts, Ty and Simner. Also Acklam as well, nearly. So, look at that bit of story. Cy Anthony into the pits for UKSR in the 27 Porsche. Let's drive it to break in GTP and head on in. And these three still close as you like. Cope, Labette and Sedgley. Seeing over in the Twitch chat, let's have a bit of a catch up with chat as we're starting to calm down once again, or are we? Because it's Corvette versus Ford here at Daytona. It's Windsor in the Corvette trying to make his way past that Connexus Ford, the 22 of Pinder, but can't quite get it done yet. He'll have to wait another lap with that Team Potato Corvette of Rob Windsor. Look who's heading on by. It's that LMP2 trio that are now smugly, as we were just about to catch up with chat, and well, I'm seeing on Twitch Mr. Buzz Races, Paul Busby himself, team manager, giving some, as he called it, Toto Buzz Strats. Effect LMP2 1, 2, 3 on strategy watch. Yeah, it's worked out an absolute treat for you and gutting for Adam Ty, as I love an underdog story. And cheers, Buzz, you've ruined that one completely. Race the Voice say, good strategy call. You're not wrong there. Also saying about out of fuel, that relating to Sean Cranley's swash. Has he got going again? Well, the answer to that is yes. So I'm guessing he's run out of fuel. Guessing. I mean, it felt like he was running on fumes. Oh, Thomas, drama in GTP as Olympus have had an incident in the form of the 64 of Thomas Cope. And that looks like that's already had a bit of an incident. Let's have a bit of a look. Well, you're already pulled over there. I don't know what's happened to that. It's not another one to run out of fuel, surely. Well, I'm sure to keep the drama up, Ben Cullen would see that as a bit of redemption, maybe, after the coming together they had with Cope earlier on in the race. Talking of effect, second place Wilson heading out of pit road. Meanwhile, Patrick Thompson heads in. Those two were running first and second in class, although Wilson has come out in fifth after that stop. Wilson does have a healthy advantage back to Sedgley and Labette. So that's turning in now to a two-way fight over third place. At one stage, it was a five-way fight. Unfortunately, it's been demoted. So go up on the jacks. Of course, you can't quite tell whether it's changing. Just the two tyres or the four. We'll get to know after the pit stop what our leader has elected to do. Labette in. Same with Sedgley too. There we go. There's Sedgley up on the jacks. Labette pulling into his pit box just behind Thompson. And, well, fueling up. And is that going to be enough to get him home? Based on the clock, you got to say it's going to be very, very close indeed. It's GTP now. Sam Sherwood, flash of the lights there to squeeze on pipe one of the LMP2s. Just ahead of him, his fellow Potec driver Joe Newman, who's had a slow down through the bus stop. Pulls to one side. What's the gap, though, between? Where is Thompson? So he exit the international horseshoe. Now 12. It's going to settle down maybe around the 11-second mark. 11 and a half, in fact, to Wilson. So he extends that gap. 3 seconds faster through the pit stops was Thompson compared to Wilson. Miles yet to stop. He is, well, assumes overall race lead. Somebody's led this tonight. And the first time ProTech have led, in fact. And the first time Porsche have led that's not been GT3 as well to boot. There you go. Got to take it, all these opportunities when you can. Suck it up, Ryan Moles. Here's your leader. I imagine probably going to be in within the next lap or so. Stop back on lap 1. Took on board 4.5 seconds of fuel, so maybe one more lap on top of this. No. Into the pits. Thompson will resume race lead. Sedgley, a big winner out of this, because that is Labette, and there is Sedgley. Although he's being held up in a bit of GT3 traffic. That Edmondson, is that Edmondson, I believe? No, it wasn't. Apologies. That was one of the Ferraris for UKSR. James Connolly, that's who that would have been. That's who that would have been. Oh, the bat going, oh, very slowly. And in doing so, nearly loses a place to the ProTech Acura. There's Joe Newman there, trying to find his way past Labette. Or is that... Hold on, no. Apologies. Excuse me there. That's the Cadillac of Sherwood now up into 4th. He's back to where he started. A little bit of... a really shocking lap. Labette lost quite a bit of time last time around. In fact, of course, it was his outlap. That's why, because he came with Sedgley. But yeah, he lost a lot of time on that outlap. 5 seconds, in fact, to Sedgley. And that's what's provided a lot of the gap. Even so, Sherwood now making up 4 different teams inside that top 4. It's Apex from Effect, from Olympus, from ProTech. Let's have a little look down through the field and move down into LMP2. So there's been a lead change there. Simon Bamba's made his way past Koopmans. Going to change up in proceedings there. First time Bamba's led this evening. They're not having the best of starts and getting stuck behind in a bit of traffic. So also in further GTP news, Cope for Olympus has got going again. Just make him out in the background there. That Olympus Acura. The instant point limits have been increased for tonight, obviously with the longer race. As we'd normally be at, what, some 8 minutes left to go, well, minus a bit of change. Instead, we've got another, well, 37.5 minutes to be precise, coming up for you. Fast approaching 2/3 race distance complete. Let's move down into GT3 Pro-Am, and this is a battle for the lead that's emerging. The battle of the Italian manufacturers as the Siki Simsport Ferrari leads the UKSR Lamborghini. But for how much longer? Alan Lever on board that UKSR Lamborghini, the 657, the 99 Tiki Simsport Ferrari being piloted by Dave Robson. But how much longer will Robson hold on to this Pro-Am lead? It's V10 versus V6. That's moving up high on the banking. comes the Lamborghini of Lever, and surely into the lead, right round the outside. Can he hold on? Can he pin it down low, that Ferrari? No, he can't. So we've got some of the GCPs heading on by there that could play part of this story and squeeze, and there's contact, and then there's further contact as Lever is pinballed around there. But even so, he's accrued the lead. This is not quite done and dusted. Is that a slow moving? Oh, and yet again, more prototype traffic playing havoc with this GT3 battle. I'm trying to work out if that LMP2, it's one of the Effect Club Sport cars, is going slow. There you go, up the inside. I was looking at the... I didn't think he maybe can overtake there. No one normally tends to do that. But Dave Robson says, hold my beer, watch this, and side by side they're going to drag it out through the oval. Onto the back straight. Who's going to emerge? Who's going to be last of the late breakers? Who's going to be brave heading into the bus stop? Will it be Robson? Will it be Lever? And oh, there's almost contact as Lever shuts it all right in Robson's face. On board with Robson in the Ferrari. What have we got here? What can we find within ourselves? Snatches another gear in the 99. Moving around a bit, trying to distract Lever. Let's one the GCP's go by. Oh, and it's a big send. It's a big move up this inside. It's brave. It's ambitious. And can he pull it off? Yes, he can. Can he? No, not quite. They're side by side as they head down towards the International Horseshoe. Onto the brakes. Lever's got the inside. And, well, he holds on to it by the skin of his teeth as that's off the track. That's Danny Hugendorn. Oh, it's all gone wrong for him. Said about him going slow. Oh, he's blinking in and out there horrifically. Maybe connection issues. Well, front end gone. And maybe another retirement. And it's not looking like it's going to be Effects Day here at Daytona in some ways. But then more so in others. It's all or nothing for them. Lovely picture there. All three classes side by side out on the Roval. Where Daniel Pay of all dues in cars. He's not had the best of races. He's had a bit of an incident on track. Let's take a look what's happened to him. There he is in the LMP2. Gonna lose it down at turn 1. Oh, a bit too much on the accelerator there. Too much momentum. Over-rotating that rear end. And around he goes. Up into GT3 Pro. Where it's starting to kick off once more. This time it's Porsche versus Corvette. Allure the Frenchman trying to hold at bay. Carl McGurk of DCW in that Corvette. As that's Cam Smith just off almost trying to find a rallycross line. There is a rallycross track here at Daytona. He's trying to find it. Of course, Smith was battling it out with Cranley Swash for the top honours in GT3 Pro-Am, but, well, it's all gone to the wayside for the pair of them. Now find themselves 10th and 11th in that Pro-Am class, which makes them some quick maths. Well, one lap down, first of all, but also 16th and 17th in GT3 as an overall class. Up into LMP2, where things are starting to get a little bit spicy. A Simner has made his way past Ty, so is Acklam as well. I think we're wondering whether Ty's had a bit of a slowdown. He is. Will it be into the pits once more? Oh, could this be a bit of drama here? Because he shouldn't be stopping now. Or should he? Maybe going for a bit of split strategy here. Not feeling the tyres, but that means that James Acklam's going to lead LMP2 Pro-Am now. Well, it's all kicking off, isn't it? Well, now we've got two privateers on the Pro-Am podium in the form of current leader Acklam. Foreman is second. Then we've got Craven for Olympus. Acklam might even lose fourth overall in LMP2 because Ty is incredibly close. It's right on board with him. Moves towards the inside, thinks twice, backs out of it, does the 78 of Ty. That's Cy Anthony about to come on past in the Porsche. They certainly lead Porsche in GTP. After initially looking good for Porsche in that category, it's all fallen apart. One retirement in the form of Ridpath. Acura having retirement too. Austin William Campbell of effect. Calling one on the wayside on lap 8. That's Acklam off. Oh, it's all gone wrong for him. So I was looking at stats. Missed it all happen. Took down from the helicopter. And there was contact, and I'm not, well, you've got to maybe look at towards the GCP there, not maybe leaving enough room for the LMP2. Incidentally, Acklam still holds on to the lead despite that incident in Pro-Am. Its gap to Foreman has reduced now down to only 6.5 seconds. It's all kicking off here. It's all kicking off outside my house as well. 2 ambulances have just rocked up. There you go. It's all happening. Real life. I'm in the sim world. Clearly someone fainting because they can't keep up with all the action and drama and excitement at the UKSR Endurance Multi-Class Championship. Wow. He got it now. Oh, Bamba into the pits. Yes, he is. So LMP2 having to stop again. Of course, they were the first class to pit earlier on. Of course, Bamba was part of that group that did pit early too. It all changed. This is one guy that's hardly mentioned him yet again. 17.5 seconds now the lead for Thompson over Wilson. Essentially himself. There he is for Effect Simulations. There's got a 6-second lead himself for Olympus's Dan Sedgley. It's a 1-2-3 for Acura either way you look at it. Simner now into the lead of LMP2. But that is pit stop affected. It's all a little bit loose there. Oh, I thought that was going to be a bit of an incident, but we got away with it. This is where it gets so frustrating and allows Adam Ty to close that gap in the blink of an eye to Simner. And it's now down to a meager 3 attempts. But can Ty capitalise and tie this one up? It's down to a 1/4 of a second. And there's a bit of traffic on the horizon. That's the Tiki Sim Sport Corvette. That's Martin Tilling running second in GT3 at the moment, who allows them on by, seeing his fair share of prototype, well, incident and action in and around him, and just allows them by on relative ease down into the International Horseshoe. Time needs to be closer than this. It's eked out to 0.4 of a second. Has the gap. That's where it remains. I'm a little bit surprised by Ty. I thought he would... I thought he would utilise to close a bit up a bit more and really take the fight to Simner. We are into the last third of the race. 25 minutes and change left here. And while talking about taking the fight, it's DCW, this time versus Effect, and it's a change for position in LMP2, as that's Bamba going on by Collicott. We haven't really seen too much of Mark Collicott today. Oh, bar him, just getting overtaken. Not exactly. Yeah. Want to be shown for Jason Foreman into the pits as well from the lead of Pro-Am. There he goes. So imagine Craven. Yeah, he's going to head on by. That means he's going to assume the lead in that category. But Willoughby has stopped. Oh, no, that's Edmondson. That's Edmondson. Off and around. Did he truly lose that by himself? Was he looking in his mirrors a little bit too much? Or just carrying a bit too much speed through there? That's what cost him dearly. Foreman has come out of the pits. And he will come out in front of Jack Barker. By quite a margin. Jack Barker not having the race he would have hoped for today. Currently lying 7th in category. So, wow, not content with making up one place. Bamba going for another. This time it's Conor Craven, who will still hold on to that first place in Pro-Am for Olympus. Bamba, of course, in Pro. I think that's why Craven just making that a little bit easy. We've got a bit of traffic once more in front of Bamba. How does he like to deal with this one? Just making his way past. Oh, gets a bit tight as they all move across on that pit entry, which really nearly caught Cameron Smith, who's heading out of pit road out there. It's Carl McGrew. Something's happened to him. Well, let's check in. He's had an incident, and then he's had another incident very quickly after. He lost it down into the bus stop. Looks in one way. Oh, well, that's a big one. And Cope taken out with it too. Right, we'll see if we can pick that up from a different angle for you. This is on board from Cope's perspective. So now what happens to McGrew? He loses that rear end. Just got on the accelerator that little bit too early, did Cope. Which then meant the incident became unavoidable. And McGurk, well, would he have got away with it? I'm not too sure. I'm really not too sure. Even so, Cope takes himself with him, and well, that's another effect car that's surely going to say a Olympus car that's going to be heading into the retirement scrap heap, joining Redpath, who we lost back on lap 6. It means we're only now left with Dan Sedgley, who's ironically on the podium in GTP. We're going to see someone other than Acura onto the podium in that class. It's the car to be in at the moment, but we'd all love to see it, wouldn't we? Talking of Sedgley, might not remain on the podium too much longer because Sam Sherwood, despite a slow start, that Cadillac is looking strong over a long run, and he is closing in. Last time around, he was quarter of a second faster than Sedgley. Now, that could partly be due to traffic. Could also be due to the fact that that Cadillac is just running a little bit quicker. Oh. So, definitely starting to concentration, maybe starting to fail a bit for some of the drivers down into GT3 Pro-Am. Oh, that sounds like a car that's run out of fuel. That's the Coyote Racing Audi, the 13 of Joel Dutton. And that's not going to make it to pit road. Joel struggled in qualifying, not the performance I'm sure he would have hoped for. But it goes from bad to worse, doesn't it, for some of the drivers? It's all or nothing out here. Side just loses that bit of ground to Simner. Had got it down at one stage to about 4/10. However, pressing matters. It's Corvette versus Corvette. Carl McGurrick of DCW just ahead, but only by 4/10 of a second of the Team Potato Corvette of Rob Windsor. Prototype traffic will, well, surely not help to close up this battle. A bit of hesitation required there from Windsor and that Team Potato Corvette. We've got that Tilling of, just heading out of pit road. Now, considering that Corvette had no front end for Tiki Simsport, oh, okay, right, maybe it's about to lose it again. More damage. He's only just come out of the pits as well. And the remonstrative flash of the lights. And I was about to say how well it was doing, consider it's into third in class in Pro. At fourth overall in GT3, Alan Lever occupies third place overall. And there's also leading Pro-Am in GT3. But I believe that might have been, is it Newman, who made collision with him. He's then gone on to have, oh, okay. We need to see that from an outside angle, because that seemed a little bit strange to me. I don't know about you. Was it the push? Oh! Just didn't see the, I think that was one of the LMP2s there on the inside. And it all goes wrong for Newman. And Protec just could not seem to catch a break. But off camera, look at that. That is, talking of Protec, Sherwood. And look in the background. That is the Olympus Acura of Sedgley. The caddy is passed. It's onto the podium. The lone caddy in the field. And while if Ford couldn't take a win in GT3 Pro-Am, if Corvette couldn't do it either, well, it was only down to the caddy to try and get onto the podium. in GTP. Well, a win in this class is going to be out of the realms of possibility, surely. He's 6.28 seconds behind Thompson and 5.6 behind Wilson of Effect in second. Sherwood looks to bring it home here for ProTech and Cadillac. Right, so what have we got? So that's Collicott heading out of the pit lane. It's Newman sat there, so that's looking like another GTP retirement. That's going to be 4 so far to join Ridpath, Campbell and Cope. Other retirements looking like we lost in GT3 Pro, Martin Cruz. We haven't actually mentioned today, really. And then in Pro-Am, Aston Murray in the UK, SR Ferrari. Of course, Ruben Behrings in the Lamborghini did not make the start for DCW Racing. And that's gutting, that one, because he could have run well here today and picked up some solid points. So it does now mean that after all the shuffle around, Simler is back to the top. However, there is a little bit of pit strategy to play here because Willoughby has already stopped, and I think he fueled up to go all the way to the end. Whereas Simner and Ty have got to go again. Undoubtedly will work out this strategy come the end of it. But I said about that ProTech Cadillac being in front of that Olympus Acura, but that might well change soon because Sedgley's made gains in traffic and there's a bit more on the horizon there in form the DCW Racing Audi. Sedgley, oh, he was actually the one to lose out there. That wide entry just costing him. Now the ProTech Caddy held up behind the Porsche, and that gap, well, shrinks by half. It's down to 0.3 of a second. Paul Busby over in Twitch chat. He's got the strategies going again. There's something being conjured up in his cauldron of strategy, which apparently we're going to find out come the end. Well, of course we will do, because that's when the race ends. And everyone would have finished, so we'll know exactly where they finished. So, yeah. Well, will it work? Won't it work? Luckily, we've only got just shy of 15 minutes left to go to find out about that one. That's James Acklam in front of Sherwood. Luckily, won't lose too much time for the bus stop to the LMP2s. This can't be too far off a new incarnation of LMP2 in real life, I'm sure. In about 20 years' time, it will come to the iRacing service. It's the Dallara, the P217. It's the only chassis that's not used in real life. Actually, the Multimatic as well. One person runs the Ligier in IMSA. And everyone, of course, runs the Orica, because that's the fastest one. So, you know. But, of course, iRacing have a lot of tie-ins with Dallara, so I suppose it was only natural that they took on board the Dallara LMP2 chassis. God, it's been around the game, oh, I nearly called it the game then, in the sim for quite a while now. It's still a firm favourite. All the new razzmatazz and the jazziness of the GTPs that came along, but still remains strong. Hasn't fallen by the wayside as the LMP2. There's a man who loves that category. It's great to see. Absolutely great to see. But can we get this caddy onto the podium, chat? Can we do it? Can we will it along? ProTech need a result. They need something to come their way. Not just this race, but this season. And what a way to kickstart your season than getting that caddy onto the podium here at Daytona in a dogfight against Olympus. Stick with these guys a little bit longer. We're going to move down into GC3 where there is a bit of a battle emerging. No less. You watch, as soon as we move away from this one, there'll be an overtake. There we go. Oh, and this battle's just split up a bit. They weren't nose to tail. Edmondson, the fight for third. It was a three-way fight in GC3 Pro-Am. Edmondson, then Conley and David Allen. Again, three different manufacturers taking on that fight, but just spaced out slightly, although Conley does still have Allen hot on his tail. Audi looking to make hay and come on by, but what's it got? The Ferrari, not more famed for its top line speed. There goes your race leader, Patrick Thompson, on by. That's probably going to be the last time you see him inside the next 10 minutes. Make note of that car. It's closing up once more. It's getting so close. Sherwood, what have you got up your sleeve, my friend? How are you going to defend off the advances of Sedgley and that 31 Olympus Acura? So we head down towards turn 1. Sherwood covering off the inside. This needs to be a defensive masterclass. Or does he pull the strat of letting him by and just gambling on that run to the line on the last lap? Get the run out the bus stop. Just empty the tank of all of that electrical deployment to slingshot his way by. Can he do it? Or is he going to defend from the front here in a stoic performance? It's a Tiki SimSport Porsche there. That's Ryan Davis, who's incidentally a leader in GT3 Pro, leading it by 10 seconds. Hence, we've hardly mentioned him too much so far. Lever leads Pro-Am. Well, as we're coming inside the last 10 minutes of racing now. Your podiums at the moment. Oh, Labette into the pits. Oh, he's had an incident somewhere. Let's take a look at what happened to Damien Labette. So that's Adam Ty just in front of him there in LMP2. So Labette looks to get on, but oh, and he's locked the rear under braking, and wow, everyone incredibly lucky there, including, I'll tell you what, one driver would definitely be happy to see that go by was the Tiki SimSport Corvette. Of Martin Tilling. Name escaped me for a minute now. Ban in the list. Oh no! An effect caught up in another. Olympus caught up in another scandalous. That's Sherwood around and surely gone, and surely the chance for Protect to finish on the podium. Oh, Sedgley was pushing him hard, and well, what was the metaphorical became the physical. And Sherwood with nowhere to go. We'll get this hold. Bear with me. Oh. Well, I'm sure something to be looked at by the stewards, but gives us a chance to head on down to GT3. We've got battles brewing here now. DCW forming a bit of a pact here. Dave Allen leads in the Audi. That's the Corvette of DCW. Carl McGurrican just behind him. And that's going to play a big part because behind them is James Conley, who wants to take second place in GT3 Pro-Am away from the Audi of Allen. But his teammate, you bet your $1 is going to push him literally through all the straights to maintain that. But he runs in wide, he runs too deep, and that's just going to allow, well, nearly allows Conley to come on by. But he doesn't. And talking that strategy, Well, it's worked out an absolute treat. Bamba leads LMP2 Pro. 5 seconds over Koopmans there. He is Simner down into third. Adam Ty, after looking like he could win this one, an electric start from the privateer, now means that, well, he's going to have to, well, finish up with fourth. Incidentally, Willoughby still leading Pro-Am, although has fallen a couple of places in overall in LMP2, sorry. But even so, I'll be happy to hold on to that win. Only 6 minutes remaining. Acklam second, Foreman third in that class. GT3 Pro, it's Davis and Tilling making a 1-2 for Tiki Simsport. And Kevin Daniels of DDK by Eagle Speed Academy is in third. And Lever leads in the Lamborghini for UKSR in Pro-Am. But the big question is, who's going to finish second and who's going to finish third? It's got to be Advantage Allen, you can see. So I mentioned Carl McGurk, his teammate in the sister car in Pro. Between himself and Connolly, who are second and third in Pro-Am at the moment. And Allen will be, well, thinking, just desperate for a bit of a push to try and get away. He'll love the rear gunner job that McGurk's doing for him and keeping that Ferrari at bay. As the clock ticks down. The more frustrated, the more ambitious Connolly will become in that UKSR Ferrari. I want to get that 46 on by McGurk and have a go at Allen. Ty just moving on way past, and well, unfortunately Connolly unable to capitalise there. There is another car coming through. I think that's the UKSR Porsche GTP. Just behind them, and oh, big switch there from the Corvette coming off onto the banking. Which we're going to sort of focus on here because that gap is shrinking. It is closing. Come on, James Connolly. What have you got, my friend? You need to find something and slow it up a little bit. Oh, it's another one of the GTPs getting in the way for them. He cannot catch a break, can Connolly? And that allows McGurk to close back up to his teammate of Allen. To create that pact once more. On by goes Acklam in Allen P2. That's that car, that privateer car, running second. Oh, he's looking to the inside there. Is it going to be a change position? That's bold, that's brave. So late in the race, surely there's nothing really majorly to gain. Surely it'd be about protecting your teammate and getting them the win for DCW. But obviously not. And McGurk has left Allen high and dry. And all of James Connolly's Christmases may have just come at once. Heading into the final stages. 3 minutes left to go. Thompson's going to win this one on an absolute canter, as Paul Busby in the chat there on Twitch. Of course, if you're watching us over on Twitch, don't forget to give us a follow. Yeah, that's the right one. If you're watching over on YouTube, give the video a like and a subscribe. Of course, by doing so on both platforms, following Instagram, you get up to date with every time we go live here at UKSR. Great action. If you're interested in joining the links, head across to the website where you can find out more about leagues, everything going on, and also join the Discord. That's uksimracing.co.uk. Also on Twitter, uksimracing_, which I believe is it that for all the socials? I believe it is. Well, I think this gap has evaporated. I think Connolly's chances have gone here. So what's Barney doing across the line? Let's have a look. There's no flag out, so we're not quite down to white flag territory yet, although we're not too far away. When Thompson comes across the line, I think it's going to be white flag in the air. Meanwhile, behind them, we've got battles emerging. That's Joe Pinder in the Mustang in front of Casper Brockner with Rob Windsor, Team Potato. It's all changed. It's happened. It's happened. And Connolly's got past just off camera, but Allen fights back. They know they're running out of time. This is surely going to be the penultimate lap. Oh, wow. Allen lost a whole heap of time. He was clear of Connolly, but it just shows how it can flip in an instant. It's the beauty of multi-class. I don't know who that GCP is, but just keep out of the way of this battle. Oh, the flash of the lights, will they allow the bit of a toe there? Don't get in Connolly's way. It's one of the ProTech Porsches, I think that is. Yeah, that'd be Ryan Moles in the 118 machine, just heading on by. And oh, the gap expands once more. It's up to 9 tenths. Meanwhile, Casper Brockner, he's on the tack as they're 2 by 2 here. The LMP2 boxed in. The Mustang goes high as they all move around. He moves to the inside. Here comes Pinder, pins himself down low and swoops through to reclaim the place from Bob, who runs wide, and that allows Windsor through. Adam Tice had an incident. We'll cover that later. Joel Denton involved too, I believe. Right, white flag is definitely going to be in the air. There he is. It's Barney's waving it furiously as they head across the start-finish line. Here we go. Can you hold on to this one, Dave Allen? Gap closes down to 6 tenths. He's not going to get a good exit off the corner thanks to the LMP2. Can Connolly close it in? He takes another 10th out of him. Meanwhile, Casper Tunstead and Casper Brockner, the two Scandis, go a bit together. Edmondson, oh, has taken the checkered. Right, okay. They're coming across the line now. A lot of them. So a lot of them now have actually finished behind these guys, but these guys have still got another lap to go. Thompson wins it. Davis, Tilly and Daniels will be your top 3 in GT3 Pro. Bamber wins LMP2 Pro. And I think maybe Allen might just hold on to this. Excuse me, this one. Wilson, 2nd. Sedgley, 3rd. With 8 attempts back, I think this battle ends. This Cameron Smith can give Connolly a bit of a push here. Close up that gap. Well, he's just taken a couple of attempts out of him. Maybe he is, but Allen, well, extends it so much more confident, that Audi through the bus stop chicane. It's going to help him, and surely that's going to carry Allen all the way through to 2nd place for DCW. It must have been a great finish to the race here in GT3. Connolly, yeah, getting the push from the Porsche of Smith. Rob wins. Now it's going to be too far back. Pinder's going to hold on to 4th from Windsor in Pro-Am. Well, it's all about the Pro-Ams, isn't it? It always is. So there you go. Confirmation for you. Allen 2nd. Connolly 3rd. What a race. What a race. Whew. We'll be with our drivers shortly to get some reaction from them. Well, I saw no one in the waiting room yet. I was going to try and be a bit cocky and pull off that one, but we'll no need to worry. We're okay. We're okay. Take you through some results. Yeah, where they're in. Patrick Thompson, your winner here today from round 3 of the season. Josh Wilson finishes in the 2nd down. Sedgley in 3rd, although get the feeling that may well be looked into post-race in terms of incidents. Sam Sherwood so close to getting on the podium. In the end, couldn't quite manage it. Couldn't quite manage it. Gutting for him. He comes home in 4th. In 5th, it was Sai Anti for UKSR in the Porsche. Going to be happy with that one. He finishes up 8 places. Harry McGregor, who ran well for ProTech early on, recovers back up to 6th. Ben Cullen, well, Effect and Olympus coming to blows. That's himself. It was with Thomas Cope. I think Cullen could have been right up there otherwise. And Ryan Miles, last of the runners in GTP. Simon Bamber wins Alan P2 with Elio Koopmans is from the sister Effect Simulations team in 2nd. Simner in the end only good enough for 3rd, and I think he'll be gutted with that one. Nathan Willoughby, well, he controlled it all the way through. A standing performance in qualifying. Great race pace and some brilliant strategy pulled off by the Effect team to secure that class win for him in Pro-Am. James Ackland, a great drive to come home 2nd in class. Ty is going to be gutted that one. A scintillating qualifying, stuck in on pole to the privateer in LMP2. In the end, only good enough for 4th in class. Jameson Foreman rounds out the Pro-Am podium, while Mark Collicott is 16th overall. Bamber, Connor Craven, 17th and 18th. So through the listing here. Pollock and Daniel Pay rounding out the LMP2 field, although Pay 2 laps down. A few incidents. Damien Labette, well, retired the car late on after that big incident for him. The back marker there just locked up the rears. It shifted down too soon and caused them to the rear axle to lock up, and well, around he went before they headed out onto the Roval. Ryan Davis, a winner in GT3 Pro. Congratulations to him for Tiki Simsport on a 1-2. With Martin Tilling, considering that car had no front end, that Corvette, for, well, the first half an hour at least, and some alternative strategy from him. That's a really good result. Kevin Daniels, you know, all about it. He came home in 3rd in class, with Nathan Law just missing out on the podium there. 11. Congratulations to the Pro-Am winner for the Lamborghini in UKSR. McGurrick in the end, but we saw it late on there. Got past his teammate, didn't act as rear gunner, just left him for dead. But David Allen in the Audi for DCW Racing managed to secure that 2nd place in class. Unfortunately, James Conley yo-yoed that gap, but he couldn't quite get close enough to strike. Joe Pinder, a good recovery drive from him after running well initially and then falling back down through the order for the Connexus Motorsport Ford Mustang. Rob Windsor comes home 4th in class, sorry. Having a bit of a moment there. And then we've got Tunstead, Brockner, 6th and 7th. Robson, Edmondson on his debut, 7th in class. I'm sure they'll hope for a bit more of a better one than that. Simon Hartley for Tiki Simsport. Bit of a mixed bag today for Tiki. Either went really well or not so well. Sean Crownley Swash, well, ran out of fuel, gutting after leading the class for Ant Stee Sports. Get it right. I listened to you, chat. Yeah, otherwise, I think he could have walked away with Pro-Am potentially. Sharples in 10th, Joel Dutton 11th, although he was 3 laps down. Then into the retirements now, where in 40th you've got Danny Hugendorn, who retired on lap 46. On lap 45 we lost Cameron Smith, because he was having some cracking battles earlier on. Newman and Cope we lost on lap 45 and 41. Not going for good day for retirements in GTP, that's for certain. Cruz of Old Dudes and Cars we lost on lap 28. Lap 26 for Alistair Murray. Austin Willingham all the way back on lap 8. Sophia Redpath of Olympus back on lap 6. And Ruben Bearings did not make the start. Whew, that was a bit of a mouthful. And I looked down and there's a whole plethora of people. I've joined the wrong room. There we go. Right. Let's have a bit of a shuffle around, and we will speak to some of our drivers really shortly. As usual, I've forgotten, that what happens is it gets dark during this race. So rather than me, do stuff where mid broadcast and it all goes pot and just turn the lights on, it looked really, really shoddy. I can do that off camera because, you know, I'm a pro. Supposedly, anyway. Supposedly. Right, let's get stuck into some interviews now, folks, and we will kick things off with... who should we start off with? Well, I think it's always good to start at the top. And let's go with... I think we need to start off with our race winner, I think. That gonna... Is iRacing gonna work? Oh, you know how things look really, really like slick and great. No. Okay, right. Let's try... Oh, hold on. Oh, you've really... Oh, this is... Oh, it's all gone. It's all fallen to bits. It's all fallen to bits. Oh, for God's sake, Timothy. Here we go. There we go. There we go. Hey. Comes right in the end, doesn't it? Turns out if you actually know what you're doing, it might make a difference. Now, going to be joined by our race winner here today, Patrick Thompson. Now joins us. Patrick, I mean, another great performance from yourself. I mean, what more is there left to say, really?
Nothing much, really. I mean, kept it nice and clean. Just drove a pretty much a perfect race, I feel like. So, yeah, it was a nice drive.
Yeah, it seemed that way. It seemed incredibly comfortable for yourself. That's for certain. I mean, at the end, winning margin 30 seconds over the rest of the field, of which there's, let's face it, there's some, not exactly slow drivers behind you. How much do you, coming into this race, how much did you think it was going to be more about fuel strat as opposed to outright pace?
Well, having done a bit of testing beforehand before the race, I noticed that you would need to save a tiny bit at least to ensure that you wouldn't need like a 2-3 liter split variant to keep it the one stop only. So I guess this time, instead of figuring out right before the end, I decided, let's just go for the fuel saving from the get-go, ease in the tires, ease in, the car, just get into a rhythm, and definitely it worked, just slowly easing the pace into the car.
Definitely. And in terms of lap traffic out there, it seemed to be a little bit dicey at times. How do you find in terms of managing that? I suppose once you built up that decent lead, it eases a lot of the pressure from yourself in having way you've got to deal with that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, in the beginning, it was very give and take. You had a good lap with no traffic. You'd gain a second or two on the car behind, and you got unlucky coming into the bus stop one single time, and they would be right on your tail again. So it was definitely a lot better when you got a bit further into the race, and you had that 5-second gap, because even if you would get stuck in the bus stop, the car behind wouldn't be like directly on you, giving the pressure instantly. So yeah, I guess once we got through the first round of traffic and I found myself having a decent gap, that was pretty chill, not rush the traffic too much, end up doing something stupid, because I really didn't need to.
No, exactly. Well, exactly. And well, I mean, looking forward to ahead to the rest of the season. I mean, surely got to feel in a really sort of comfortable place looking into it now.
I mean, yeah, yeah, no. It's obviously nice to get a few good results to start off the season. Get place in standings. I know that next race is gonna. I have driven the G. They've been updated with the new rain tire. Don't know how car feels, and this you preparation towards esports Super Cup qual. Well, they have Sunday to prepare.
We're losing your connection a bit there. It's dropping in and out, Patrick. But even so, well, I mean, what can we say? Congratulations to you, Patrick, and well, good luck for the rest of the season. I'm sure that's someone who we're going to be hearing a little bit more from as the season goes on. That's for sure. Next up, who are we going to go to? Who do I pick out of the list? Let's go with. I'll tell you who we're going to go with. I'm going to go with this guy next up, David Allen. He's top of the list, and he had a cracking end to the race. Let's face it, David Allen joins us now for DCW Racing. I mean, you were the focus. I mean, you won't have known this at the time unless there's someone in your ear telling you. You were the focus of attention for the last closing minutes of the race. All going, it looked like it was ebbing and flowing, but at least you had your teammate behind you until he just dropped you and abandoned you, and then you were left all. But it felt like you were left like a lamb to the slaughter, where James Connolly was closing in on you. Did it feel like that, or was it? Did you feel a little bit safe and comfortable?
It was. I was kind of hoping my teammate would defend against James for us, but third or fourth last lap.
Yes.
They overtook us.
Yes.
I was screaming on comms.
Yeah, don't worry. We were screaming for you as well. It was, definitely made it a little bit more interesting, to say the least, shall we say. I mean, having said that, I mean, it looked like it was a really sort of hard-going race out there for the GT3. So a lot of battling. And of course, there was that big T1 incident as well. A lot of people gained out of that. A lot of people lost out of it. I mean, from your perspective, was it just right place, right time, or close your eyes and just hope you made it out the other side?
Absolutely closed my eyes and hope. I did benefit from it quite a bit. I think I started on like P15, I think. I'm not sure.
Yes.
But yeah, I gained a lot of spaces from it.
Definitely. Well, congratulations, second place. And, I'm sure, hopefully we'll speak to him a little bit more for the rest of the season.
Yeah, thanks, Tim. Good race.
No worries. That's David Allen there of DCW Racing, second in GT3 Pro-Am. After being ditched by his teammate, Carl McGurk. What are you doing, my friend? What are you doing? Or maybe you just had complete confidence in your own teammate. That's what we'll go with. That is what we'll go with. Next up, let's move across into LMP2. Let's go with, first off, we'll go to Pro-Am, as we're sticking with that sort of flavour at the moment. And Nathan Willoughby. Nathan, congratulations. I mean, what a qualifying lap. Again, it just seems to be working out absolutely perfect for you. On the front row in, well, not just your category, but the whole of LMP2.
Yeah, to be honest, that was my best quali run all week. So, really happy with that. And been sweating this track all week as well, So, shout out to the guys there because, we've been doing quite a lot of races, a lot of practice. So, sort of paid off. So.
And once you got out in front, Nathan, how confident did you sort of feel in terms of managing the race? It was a lot of, chopping and changing around. You were up there. There was yourself, who was Richard Simner, and Adam Ty, who was sort of like just breaking away initially. Do you feel quite comfortable just going along with those guys, or were you having to really push hard to stick with them?
Initially, I just sort of kept with them. To be honest, I was just really trying to protect the tyres for as long as I could, fuel save as much as I could as well, and just stay in that draft because, that's the important thing around here, keeping in the draft. And like I say, looking after those tyres because they really do go off, and when they do, it makes the race a lot harder, So
It definitely does indeed. But, what can we expect rest of the season? Are we going to, are you going to put it on the line here and expect more of the same from you? I mean, as the weeks go by, you've got to feel more and more confident about this Pro-Am Championship.
Yeah, the next week's going to be an interesting one because most sports not a track that I know, so I got to go learn that, and also it's going to be wet, so that's going to throw a little spanner in there, so we'll see. So
Yes, it'll definitely throw a spanner in the works.
I just got to keep finishing, keep that job.
Exactly. That is for sure. And good luck for next week, and congratulations, your race winner in LMP2 Pro-Am, Nathan Willoughby, for a Simulation Carbon. Sticking with LMP2 and Effect as well. Let's move. And also Carbon. I didn't spot that at the time. But actually, yeah, a 1-2 for, 2 wins in LMP2 for the same sister team of Carbon. Simon Bamber, congratulations. I mean, how much of that was your team boss's strategy versus how much was that your raw skill? I get the feeling it's more of the latter than the former.
Hi Tim, how you doing? Yeah, definitely. I'd say 50-50 really. I mean, I don't think I made many mistakes this race, but then the strategy was absolutely on point, and I had someone in my ear the whole race telling me exactly what I need to do, which was ideal. It was perfect.
Definitely. I mean, after qualifying, I mean, surely you must have been a little bit nervous, to say the least. You know, fair as usual. I know you're not Mr. Qualifying, but it looked a little bit, a bit nip and tuck, but it was that after the round of pit stops, that sort of earlier pit stop that seemed to transform you, and you all sort of came alive. And then, even then, you compared to Emil Koopmans, you then kicked on again, and just went from strength to strength. Did you feel that you were settling more into the car, or was it just conditions were coming more into your suiting?
I think definitely, once again, having someone talking to me the whole race, just sort of reassuring me that the strategy will work. Because I mean, there was a few times I come out the pits and I'm behind people, and I must admit the first stint was really busy. I mean, me and Simner were having a bit of a to and fro, and obviously we were all a bit bunched up. But the second and third stint was, I mean, it was relatively lonely. I mean, it was just GT3 traffic to contend with, and they were on the whole pretty good. So I'm dead pleased, obviously, how the race turned out, and yeah, all happy.
Yeah, definitely. I'm sure you enjoyed being told, "Trust me, brother, this'll work." From Saturn in his Ford Fiesta. So I'm rumoured to be told, but yeah, no, congratulations either way.
Sorry, you cut out there, buddy.
Oh, did I? Don't worry, it was my appalling impression of your team manager.
Right.
So yeah, don't worry about it. You've not lost anything.
Oh.
You've not lost anything whatsoever. I mean, to be fair, you could argue whether you lose anything by listening to me for an entire 90 minutes of this broadcast, but actually nearly 2 hours. But there we go. Either way, congratulations, Simon Bamber, race winner in LMP Super. Go on.
Yeah, just thank Buzz, Josh, Nathan, Emil, everyone in the team, and then at Effect as well. I really appreciated all the help this race. So cheers.
Definitely. Well, congratulations, Simon Bamber, there, your race winner. Well, let's have a bit of a sort out on the whole graphical front. And we'll back to the start. There we go. Well, what can we say? Another barnstorming race, another absolute cracker here. UKSR, Daytona, it's always the way. And we got to enjoy an extra half an hour's time of it today, just to boot. Congratulations, winners. I mean, it's much the same again, isn't it, really? Patrick Thompson running away with it in GTP, Effect mopping things up in LMP2, Tiki Sim Sports down in GT3. But there's always a little difference sometimes, and that came from Alan Lever of UKSR in the 657 Lamborghini, who won Pro-Am and took it away from them. I've been Tim Cox. Thank you very much for joining me. Be back in a week's time here on the channel. As mentioned earlier in the interviews, Mosport Canada. That is always a dramatic one when you put multi-class on it. And if it does rain, just tune in. Same time. In a week, I'll be there. You'll definitely be there, I'm sure. Thank you very much for joining me. Good night.